What's up, everybody? Welcome to EaseDrop Podcast. I'm your host, Carlos. Today we have a special edition of EaseDrop. We're going to be discussing Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Before we get into this, I want to introduce you to everybody. Josmar.
Hey, what's up? This is Josmar, aka Jos.
Then we have Angel.
Angel, aka Angel.
Last but not least, we have Hector.
Hector, aka Tito.
What's going on, fellas? How was your day?
Doing good. It was a pretty good day, you know, besides watching the shitty ass movie of Batman vs. Superman.
Nah, come on.
Well, that's going to lead me to my next question. I was going to ask everybody, what's your initial thoughts of Batman vs. Superman? I'm going to start with Josmar.
Oh man, I want to give it a 10, but it has its certain points, and I'm just gonna go with a 9, solid 9.
All right, and Tito, how about you?
See, listen, I have so much to say about it. Let's go with a 6.5. I'll explain later.
And Angel?
I'm going to give it a solid 5.
So we got a 5, a 6.5, and a 9. I'm going to give it... It's a tough... But I'm going to go with a 4. And I know everybody's going to hate me for that.
Nah, I gave it a little generous 5, you know.
I mean, you know, my initial thought, it's not a bad movie. It's actually a very viewable movie, but it has its moments where it could have been better. So we're going to jump straight into it. I'm going to start with trailers. And I feel personally that the trailers ruined the entire movie. I don't know how you guys feel. So I just want to get your initial thought on that. But I feel the trailer spoiled every amazing aspect of the movie.
Yeah, I want to start they use all the twists and turns of the freaking movie. And they showed it all in the trailers before they released the movie. I could have saved money just by putting all the trailers together and watch it in my house.
But that's the thing. Like, a lot of people ask for the trailer. The trailer is supposed to draw you in, which in most cases it did. It really did draw in the people because of what they showed. But people do complain that they don't show enough in the trailer to grab them.
Well, I feel like the trailer, I watch a lot of trailers, and trailers don't really mess up the experience for me because I feel I watch the trailer, it gets me excited, but I want to see how they make that work, how they piece it together, and that's the fun part for me. So, it doesn't really mess that up, but I understand what you guys saying, that they did show a lot in the trailer. But to each his own, I guess.
You know, my thing is that, I understand you're trying to draw in as much money as possible because you want to make, it cost them $800 million just to make this movie. So they need to make $800 million just to break even. And over the first weekend, they made, I believe $424 million. So they're halfway there globally. So they're going to obviously crush that goal. But all you needed was just Batman v Superman. And that alone is a cash cow. I know you want people to see that, okay, they're going to have Doomsday. They're going to have Wonder Woman. They're going to have Flash. They're going to have Aquaman. And, you have Lex Luthor. I get that. But... when Wonder Woman appeared for the first time in her full outfit, that was a great scene. But we seen in the trailers that she saved Batman, and that's why it just lost that longevity. That remember that amazing scene that when this girl saved this guy. You're not gonna have that because that's in the trailer. You ruined that for a majority, 95% of viewers. That's the one thing I hated. What did you hate from the trailers?
Listen, I almost felt like I was rewatching the movie all over again. This premiered in E3 or was it Comic-Con 2013. And I feel like I just watched the movie all over again. There was no twists, no turns. I expected everything from Doomsday to Wonder Woman to the Justice League. I just felt very disappointed. It was overly whelmed, had potential, but they missed the mark.
You see, you brought up a great point right there with Doomsday. Everybody assumed the movie was going to be Batman v Superman. And if Doomsday would have been a surprise, even though they could have done a way better job with his CGI because he looked atrocious, and that's just how I feel. But if he would have been a surprise boss at the end, that right there would have gave the movie another 2 extra points of being a better movie. But everybody knew he was going to be there because of the trailer.
I agree. I mean, honestly, when I was watching the movie, it was awesome. When the woman popped in and she was just kicking ass. I thought that was so cool, and I was still excited despite the seeing her in the trailer. But Doomsday, I felt like he was cool, but I really wanted to see how they're gonna deal with this guy. That was the main thing for me.
Yeah, like I said, it's the movie. It's viewable, it's enjoyable to watch, but another bad thing with the trailers is that it hyped up the movie way too much, especially with spoiling all these scenes. So it just couldn't live up to expectation because everything that was good about the movie they showed in the trailer, and it's just like it was overhyped. And now they're preparing for Justice League, which I honestly don't care about. You know, I'm not. I like DC. I'm a big Batman fan. You all know this, and I was happy that Batman, kicked Superman's butt in the movie for that little fight scene they had. So that made me smile right there. But it's just the movie. It could have gone in such a different direction. It could have been one of those movies like a Schindler's List that it's one of the greatest movies of all times, but they dropped the ball.
That's the thing, though. Zack Snyder didn't want it to go that way. Zack Snyder even stated that this movie, for God knows why, was pretty much the foundation that set Justice League. And I actually know why he did that, and it's because he's trying to catch up to Marvel. DC is trying to catch up to Marvel, and Marvel already had Spider-Man come out, they had Iron Man come out, they had all these movies come out, to set the foundation. But now they're in a race to get all these movies out before 2020, and that there is their downfall.
Well, I feel like they're playing a catch-up game because Marvel's already like kind of established this whole superhero like movie game, and DC's like just jumping in, and they only have a handful of these well-known superheroes, and now like they're definitely gonna come up with some weird characters that people never heard of before. Only the comic book fanatics will like understand where they're coming from.
No, that's a great point, because when they were showing that scene where Wonder Woman had to drive and Bruce emailed her those contests of Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg, I'm sitting there, I'm like, who in the world is C? I could not for the life of me figure out it was Cyborg. I'm like, who's Cyborg? Who is this guy? Like, I'm a nerd, but I'm not that big of a nerd. And there's nothing wrong with being that. I'm not a comic book guy. That's not my cup of tea. It's not my forte. But still, I know most superheroes. Like, I even know Cable from X-Men. But who in the world is Cyborg, and how is he going to sell a movie?
A quick point. That's one of the main reason why I started analyzing the movie afterwards, and I was thinking like, okay, why people are giving it mixed reviews? And I feel that this movie has so much in it that was so like it's almost diving into the deep end of the pool. Because if people don't know the story or the backstory between these, like about these characters, you're gonna be so lost. So you're gonna feel like the story is missing a lot of pieces, and that's what I think was missing. That's why I think people felt the way they felt, because my girlfriend was just like, I didn't like the story. But I mean, everybody loves the action, of course.
You see, you brought up a great point. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's just he made a valid point. I just want to talk about it quick. Is that usually there's backstory or of a character, or there's a previous movie, and it makes you fall in love with the character. Like, when's the next time you're going to get Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman in the same scene together? Like, that should be an iconic moment in the movie. And it's like, yeah, they're together, but it's like they don't know each other. Like, come on, when Bruce is talking to Clark, he's like, I thought she was with you. Oh, no, but I thought she was with you. They don't even know who she is. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Now, Batman knew who it was. Batman knew. Remember when he was trying to find...
He knew what she was. I'm just saying, it's just that he thought... Like, there's no rapport there with them. Like, if one of them was to die, which, spoilers, one of them did die, like, they don't really care because there's no rapport there. It's just, like, they knew each other for maybe 5 minutes.
Exactly. And that's the thing I was talking to my girlfriend's cousins about. They should have had that in the beginning. They should have built that up with them. I mean, you know this guy for 15 minutes, he dies, and you're sad because both your mothers had Martha as the same name. Come on, man.
Yeah, I want to talk about Ben Affleck role, man. It was. I want to say it's one of the best parts in a superhero. He played the part perfectly, but I don't like the fact that he didn't care about killing and harming people, because that's not Batman. And is he older? I know they established that in the beginning of the movie, but I always felt like Christian Bale played a better Bruce Wayne than Ben Affleck. But Ben Affleck played a better Batman than any other actor.
The thing with that is that he didn't have time to really play Bruce Wayne. Like, the Christian Bale Bruce Wayne was a playboy. This, he's in his maybe his late 20s, early 30s throughout that franchise. And this Batman's, he's probably 45, between 42 and 45. So he doesn't have the time to play the playboy. He's out for revenge. So you're not going to get emotionally tied to the Bruce Wayne aspect of it.
But here's what went wrong with Batman. You ready for this? He creates a kryptonite spear, uses it to try to kill Superman. After he had his little mental breakdown when Superman mentions Martha, he drops the spear on the ground. And he just leaves it there. Even though they clarified it in the movie that Superman isn't the only alien out there. And of course, at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, the only way to kill Doomsday is to stab him in the heart with a kryptonite spear that Batman left behind. Like, really, Batman? Wasn't he the genius that came up with the idea to beat Superman? And Lois Lane chucked that shit in the water.
Oh my god.
She didn't want anybody to use it against her, her husband.
Yeah, I get that, and I'm jumping back a little bit, but I agree with Ben Affleck being an awesome Batman. But I feel like there was too much information to jam pack into this movie to add all these extra elements that we would need to understand the movie much better. So like all those little tidbits that you guys were explaining, it's just like you're gonna extend the movie. The movie was already 2 hours and 30 minutes. Like,
okay, 2 hours and 30 minutes that was wasted that they could have used on that to build off of premises. It's a very interesting background.
It wasn't wasted. It's like I was telling my coworker today. Like when I saw Avengers, and that's a 2 hours and a half movie, it didn't feel like 2.5 hours. Like I felt like I literally just sat in the seat like 5 minutes ago, and then the movie was over. This movie, it dragged, and that's what made it so bad. Is like I was like, I don't know if it's because we saw it late at 10:30 at night, so we were just tired, or maybe because the movie was really just that long. But it could have been at least 45 minutes less. But I get it. They wanted to make it spectacular because it's Batman v Superman. When's the next time you're ever going to get that? We probably won't get that for another 20, 30 years.
but don't get me wrong, the movie was beautiful visually, you know what I mean? But it was lacking in the story a little bit. Could have been tighter for sure.
No, I mean, it did look amazing. Like the graphics, it was visually appealing. It's just there was no reason to care for most of these characters. And then, speaking of characters like Lex Luthor or Alexander Luthor, depending on what you want to call him, like
Junior.
Some people say Junior, some say Lex.
It's I'm sorry, Coach. He's Junior. It was confirmed in October. He is playing a Junior. Because remember, Alexander Luthor Jr. was the one that created LexCorp. His father didn't. That's a big thing that people missing out on.
Yeah, because he reinvented Lex Luthor as a character. This is not the Lex Luthor we know. And basically, he upstages almost everyone in this movie. I mean, he's oddly charming, masterful, undeniable, psychotic. He reminds me of Voss from Far Cry 3.
I mean, the only thing I didn't like about Lex Luthor is that he has this little tick, this like psychotic tick, and that's not in his characters from everything I've watched in the past and read. Like he's more about this like powerful business, like straight, like keeping everything inside internal, and big powerful guy, like very serious and planning and strategic. And I didn't see that at all. I felt like I was watching the Riddler coming out.
That's what he reinvented. He reinvented Lex Luthor. He just made Lex Luthor his own. He took that character, he made him psychotic, also business driven. So that what made him so the best.
But the thing is that he played the psychotic character, but they don't explain why he's psychotic, and they so that's what the values the character is. Like you don't know why he's acting like that, because the Lex Luthor we do know, yes, he is strategic, he is a mastermind, he is smart, he's business savvy, and this most likely is his son, but if this is actually going to be Lex, then explain why he's psychotic. If this is going to be Lex, then he should be in his 40s. That's why everybody feels it's his son, because he looks like he's 23. And even though he goes bald at the end of the movie because he's in prison, that doesn't mean you're Lex Luthor.
Yeah, and in the comics, I forget where, I think it was the show, he went bald because of the radioactivity or something about the kryptonite, something related to Superman. And this is why he had like this hate or something like towards like this somebody powerful than or close to God figure.
Yeah, you get that. I remember from Smallville, it was from some type of kryptonite or radioactive field. I don't remember. I seen that show like 12 years. I seen that show like 12 years ago. It's a long time ago.
I think he had something to do with the kryptonite that he had cancer. Believe it or not, he did have cancer. He had that vest on.
I think he had it with the kryptonite. That's how he got cancer or something like that.
I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't do he did a bad job as Lex Luthor. I just feel like he overacted the role.
No,
I mean,
no.
I mean, I'm with the psychotic part he did. There was no need for that.
Like I said, he played a very good character. What character that was, I don't know.
He played the Joker.
The Riddler.
You know, what I think is that he tried to create Lex Luthor the way forget the actor when they created Batman. I mean, Joker in the last Batman movie.
Oh, Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Thank you. Like he tried to do that, like that same thing that he did with the Joker, but it failed. I think it failed.
You can't reenact that again. That was a once in a lifetime.
That's
bro.
the thing. Why would you try to reenact that? We have Jared Leto coming up as playing the Joker, which is gonna play a great comic book version of that. I believe so. But why are you gonna try to create a character that's already being created?
Maybe he wasn't going towards that. Maybe he just wanted to create Lex Luthor as a all-powerful young. Remember, he plays a young character here, like in his early 30s, late 20s. He's playing some psychotic kid who really wants to stop God. That's his intention.
So I mean, I try to watch it and try to understand why is he doing this. Okay, where are we going with this? So I was thinking maybe he's like this for the meantime, and then this experience that, aka by for the to the end of the movie when he's in the prison and everything, it changes him, and this is when he becomes more strict and more serious and more business driven. Maybe this is the switch that's happening, and we see this, and that's what he's trying to show. But I don't know this yet,
But if that's the case, it's like he's still. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. He's maybe 29 at the oldest. Like he's supposed to be in a similar age group as Batman and as Clark Kent. Like how is he 15 years younger than them if he's supposed to be Lex Luthor? Like it doesn't make logical sense. Like he can't be the Lex Luthor we all grew up with. He's nowhere near their age, and he just doesn't act like that Lex Luthor. And I understand everybody wants to put their fingerprints on the role and they want to, stand out and re-image the role, but still, it's like that's not Lex. It can't be.
And that's why I gave this movie a 5, because I enjoy his performance. Every time he stepped on the scene, on the screen, it's just he outperformed anyone who was there. When they went to Superman or Batman, or even you had both of them in the same screen, it was just amazing acting.
I disagree completely because every time I watched him, it was just like, what are you doing? Every time he ticked and like that nervous twitch that he did, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You're not the Riddler. You're like, take it easy. Like, get serious here. I want you to scare the audience. Like, I want you to like, just, wow, this guy's fearful, like, powerful, like he's crazy in the mind. Like, I want to feel that. I didn't get that. It was like, is it a joke?
No, that's I have to agree with Josemar. It's just he should have been more serious. He should have had that demeanor, that presence. Like when you see him, it's like, oh shit, I should be scared of this guy. Like he may not be powerful like Superman, and he may not be as smart as Batman, but this guy is devious with his plans.
But again, it all goes down to the writers again. The writers wrote that, he had to fit the character. For example, how can you play something serious when Superman was attacking to find out where Lois Lane was? That was already written in the script. How can you not do that? It was something that was written in. It was something that he had to follow. I don't think he had a say. But
I don't know, but at the end of it all, they're setting up for Justice League movie, which they introduced the Flash, they introduced Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg. At the end they're gonna fight. I believe it's Darkseid. That's who they're gonna fight as the main boss.
Yeah, Darkseid. Yeah.
In Justice League, which I don't even know who he is. I've heard of him, but I don't know who he is, and I honestly could care less. Like if we're talking Marvel here, I know everything about Marvel, but I don't know anything about DC except that. I didn't even know Batman's mom name was Martha until I had looked it up. Like I literally thought the writers made that up so they can have that coincidence when he says his mom's name that he feels sorry for him.
Right.
I'm sorry. That was, if you're gonna make somebody feel sympathy for you, like really just saying your mom's name is gonna make you stop him from killing you. Like really,
exactly.
Like
that's what I
that makes
earlier.
no sense at all.
I feel like I get the point that where you're making, but I feel like when you're so attached to that moment in your life when your parents have been killed, and you know that you just think about them all the time, and that event made him Batman. So when he heard this, he's like, why is he saying this? Like, where's this coming from? So he wanted to know why, instead of just killing him off and not knowing. That's like a torture in itself.
Say, Martha, what are you talking about?
Yeah, honestly, that was so
Why
funny.
are you saying that name?
Why are you saying that name? I don't want to stray off the topic too much, but you know Geoff John?
Don't know
name
who
ring
that
a
is.
bell?
No.
You don't know what that name is? You probably do. If I tell you the writer of The Flash.
Okay.
Series?
The series, okay.
Yeah, you know he's actually working with Ben Affleck on a private project, which a lot of people think it might be a solo Batman movie.
Well, from what I hear, it's been all but confirmed that he will start his own solo Batman film. But what's the point? I understand it's Ben Affleck and it's Batman, but if you're setting up for Justice League, why are you going to make a solo Batman film? They need to develop the other characters. They need to develop Flash, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, whoever else they're going to have. They don't need to focus on Batman because it's Batman and it's Ben Affleck.
Yeah, they need to focus on Batman because Ben Affleck wants to make money and he wants his own movies.
But then you have DC in that race. So, I mean, everything's all time consuming to do all this before 2020.
I mean, they can release technically a movie or 2 movies a year if they wanted to, but it's just like, are people? The question is who's gonna care enough about these characters?
I mean, okay, if you want to talk about characters, let's talk about Marvel real quick. For example, like, you know, DC is in that race with Marvel. For Infinity War, there's already, I believe, 62 or 64 confirmed characters, bro. That's a clusterfuck of just characters in one. Like,
It is a clusterfuck, you know. Sorry for the language, but most of those characters there's people that are gonna die off because this is their last film and they're moving towards a new generation. So they're gonna have those people there for star power. Like, I mean, I hope this doesn't happen, and I have this strange feeling that they're gonna kill off Iron Man because there's nobody in this generation that can play Iron Man besides Robert Downey Jr. Like, there's nobody that can live up to him.
Just like Wolverine.
I don't think they'll kill off a character. They
I
might
think
move.
they would.
They might move away. They might switch up an actor. Think about it. If you kill a character, does that mean everybody's like not allowed to touch him, like that character again? Somebody's gonna bring it up again.
No, they're
this
gonna
is the
kill
thing
them
with
off.
the comic book world. In the comic book world, they kill them off. In the comic book world, there's an alternate universe to everything. That's why with the Spider-Mans, like when they killed off this guy, Tobey Maguire, and they started a new series and all this. There's comic books. You can kill somebody off, and there's an alternate universe.
Like the Flash proved it. He can time travel, so there's obviously more than one line.
Yeah, well, he time travels with like some help with some type of machine or something. But like I mean, the comic book world, it is like vast, and it's like they have so many like storylines. It's crazy, but there is a main storyline, but people diverse from it, just saying like, what if this, what if that, or try to tie in, and just doing that creates this bigger universe and more stories to tell and different ways you can take it. But it just depends if you want to stay on the right path and keep with the main origin. You know what I mean? Everything else is just little tidbits that you could probably add or tweak and make it more interesting.
Listen, for me, I don't think DC is gonna make it to 2020. They have 10 films they have to release. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it. I'm not gonna watch Justice League until it comes out on DVD or some sort. But I'm not gonna go to the movies.
That's another thing. Like, this movie, it left a sour taste in my mouth. Like, I'm not looking forward at all to Justice League. Like, why would I pay to watch that when you literally dropped the boat with the 2 biggest names in DC Universe, Batman and Superman? You dropped the boat with that. Why would I feel confident in you to make a great Justice League movie?
You know why? Because for fans like me, I don't care because it's awesome. And it's like, I just want to see my superheroes that I've been watching since I was young on a big screen and just kicking ass, you know, and looking good and being that character that I've always been watching when I was younger. And I will go see it regardless, you know, if it looks good enough.
No, I get that. Like, we all have that. Like, damn, you know, I really want to see this. Like, when they introduced Iron Man, I fell in love with the character right away. Like, right, you know, for Civil War, I'm going for Team Iron Man, even though I feel like he's gonna die. But
Captain America.
he crazy.
Captain America.
Yeah, we're not gonna divulge off the topic.
Yes,
I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go back to Batman v Superman because that's another topic for another day.
Superman.
That's why Batman won.
Superman. That's why the movie sucked.
It didn't suck because Batman won. It sucked because of the writers.
No, it's not because Batman won.
You crazy?
Batman didn't win.
Yes. Oh, okay. You know,
Martha.
that was ridiculous.
He was my
Ridiculous.
best friend.
That's Tommy Husband's best friend. We just met 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. So we know where they want to go in the next 4 years. We know how they're trying to set up their universe. We know that they're trying to play catch up. Now, besides us having mixed reviews, what are you looking forward to within the next 4 years? Are you looking forward to the next Flash movie, the next Justice League movie, the next Wonder Woman movie, Batman movie, Aquaman? Like, what is it that you took from this movie and you're looking forward to?
Well, I've watched like Teen Titans, and that's literally like Cyborg and all these other characters, Robin and all that stuff. But I just want to see all the superheroes come together. I just want to see how they mash them up. I hope they do it right, and I hope it's entertaining at the end of the day. That's what I'm going for,
Yeah, I mean, if they're given the time, and obviously they're going to have the budget, but if they're given the time to produce a good script, and I mean, I don't know how the Flash actor is, and I know how Jason Momoa is, the guy from Aquaman. He played in Game of Thrones. Like, he didn't really speak that much in Game of Thrones, so I don't really know how good of an actor he is. He's just to me, he's just a big, brolic guy with who could potentially play the role. But I guess the verdict, we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm not looking forward to anything from this point forward. Maybe Flash, because that one cameo in the movie was a sick little cameo with the store and the lights going up back and forth, and then him time traveling to talk to Bruce Wayne. But I don't know, it left a bad taste in my mouth, and that's why I did give it a 4 out of 10. Like I said, it's a viewable movie, but I wouldn't go out of my way to see it a second, a third, or even a fourth time. I think one time's good enough for me, and if I don't ever see it again, it wouldn't bother me at all.
It's not Marvel. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, like when Iron Man came out, I seen Iron Man like 5 times. The first one.
Yeah. I saw Iron Man. I saw Wolverine a couple times. Saw Captain America a couple times.
Sorry, the Wolverine movie sucked except the last one, if I'm not mistaken. The first 2 sucked.
The first 2 was not that. Okay, that's another topic. That's another podcast.
It is. We don't want to get off the railroad. But if any guys have any last thoughts?
Yeah, man. Shazam, bro, my movie.
Isn't that Dwayne Johnson?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is that your... Oh. Sad. I, for one, I gave it a 9 because I enjoy the movie, because I understand the backstory of all the characters. I understand what I was seeing. I've seen Doomsday, the animated series, and all that stuff. And when I saw it, I loved it, except for like Lex. He's the one that kind of killed it, honestly, and that's why I give it a 9 instead of a 10. And minor things like Lois Lane doing stupid things by throwing the spear in the water and taking it back, putting it in, and but little things. I could elaborate all day, but I give it a 9. I enjoyed it. Lex sucks in the movie, and that's it.
It wasn't that bad. It's just he could have been a little.
No,
bit
he
better.
wasn't. I'm bashing him, but he could have been better.
Everybody has their preference, but it seems like overall, from the EaseDrop crew, we could probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
About an average. I gave it a 5 because, unlike Josmar, Lex Luthor, he outshined everyone in that scene except Ben Affleck. Pretty good Batman.
Wait, Ben Affleck and Wonder Woman. Gia, I forgot her last name, but they both did a good job. Got it. I believe that's something like that.
Gal Dot, something like that.
But those two play. I mean, and Henry Cavill he's not bad as Superman either. It's just one last thing. The writers made him look like a wussy.
Yeah,
big time. I don't want to use the other word, but they literally made him look like he could not handle himself. Like, I understand Kryptonite's his weakness and all, but it's just like this guy is almost invincible, and yet you portray this character as this pushover, which is ridiculous.
A quick point. It was almost 2 movies in one, because Superman in this movie was dealing with like the people, not really like the superheroes, and about his like immigration or alien status on the planet, and how he's too strong and how can we stop him. Like, we don't want him here, he's too dangerous, but people at the end of the day need him, and they all they connect with him, and that's the story that we saw. So I feel like he wasn't really like present 100% in this movie.
Yeah, it was like you said, 2 movies to 1, even though I think it's like 5 in 1. It was the people, do they love or hate Superman? That was one story. Then you had Batman who hated Superman. That's story number 2. Then you had Lex who hates Superman. That's story number 3. Then you have Doomsday who hates Superman. That's story number 4. And then story number 5 is obviously Justice League, blah blah blah, which I really don't care about. But It was just all crammed up.
At the end of the
5 digits
day,
to one.
at the end of the day, we all love Wonder Woman, and that's where I'm gonna leave it
Yeah,
at.
she was pretty hot in that outfit.
Yeah, and that little smirk when she got kicked
Like
back.
she owned the role. Like when you seen her after that, when she deflected the energy from Doomsday, and like you just see her that little smirk on her face, like, yeah, I got this.
Yep, that was awesome.
Just that confidence. That's what makes her have that role. I mean, even outside of the costume, she did play it well when she stole the little the sandwiches from Bruce.
Yeah, that part was smooth. I mean, I gave it a 6.5. I like the fact that you guys said that there was 5. It was about 5 movies in one, but that's what gave it that. When the camera was on Superman, it felt like a Superman movie. When the camera was on Batman, it felt like a Batman movie. I mean, I can go for days about spinning. I really like the movie. I want to give the movie a 9. I want to give it an 8. I want to give it a 9. I'm gonna rewatch it again. Certainly not in the theaters. I'm not gonna give it no more money. That was just a waste. But again, I want to rewatch it again because I want to understand why.
Like, I think we all want to give it a 10 out of 10 because, like, it has Batman and it has Superman. Like, who doesn't want to see that movie? Who doesn't want to see that succeed? Who doesn't want to see a part 2 to that? It's just facts. The writers dropped the ball. I don't want to put it all on the writers or Snyder, what's his name again?
Zack Snyder.
Yeah, but they literally dropped the ball, and it's just the movie had so much potential, and it just didn't live up to it in my expectations. And I'm just one person out of billions who will potentially watch the movie, but it could have been so much better.
Yeah, man.
Agreed.
I agree. Again, Zack Snyder was just going off. He's a comic book guy. He's going off the comic books. But how you gonna have a comic book feel to it and give what I say was Lex Luthor Jr.'s part completely opposite of what the comic books gave? Again, the parts of the movie, the action part was good. The narrating was great. The scenes were amazing. It was just, if it was more in chronological order, it'll probably give the movie a good 7. But it was all over the place.
So you hear it from us, guys. We give the movie a 6 out of 5 out of 10. This is from the EaseDrop crew. We would love to hear your feedback on it. Please like and share this podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at EaseDropPodcast. Don't forget to subscribe to us at YouTube at EaseDropPodcast. And of course, last but not least, don't forget to like us on Facebook at EaseDrop Podcast. Until next time, thanks for eavesdropping.